No one knows what it's like to try and talk about a book you read across 3 nights. Anyway, hey, hi, ho, and howdy, everyone. My name is Shannon Shook, and my chair is being a squeaky, squeaky ho. Is yours? Test it for me right now. Is it? It didn't squeak. It barely squeaked. Anyway, point is, hi everyone, my name's Shannon Shook, and welcome yet again to another reaction of... I just said I didn't want to do that because I need to go fill it up with water. I gotta go rinse the fucking straw out. It wasn't worth the meme. Anyway, Roman Holiday came out, didn't it? Anyway, yeah, it's not a reaction. I'm here to just talk about a book that I enjoyed. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm not gonna do a super in-depth review or anything like that. I'm not gonna give you a fucking 7-page long breakdown about how this shit went down. Because that's not my style. And when it was my style, it wasn't a very good style for me. Except for those couple of jokes I made. Corey in the house? Anyway. Stupid. Anyway, if you do actually want something like that, highly recommend you check out some other people who have talked about the book because they've done it better. As always, like Phoenix Knight and stuff like that always does great stuff like that, and obviously a Neo and Roman fan, so we love that in here. So give them some love. Anyway, yeah. So I'm not gonna go ahead and do that too much. I'm just gonna go ahead and sit down and say, "Fuck, that was a good book, huh? That was really fun. I liked that a lot." Except for the parts where it made me kind of sad. Eat a dick, Jimmy. But other than that, it was a really good time. Yeah. What is it with motherfuckers named Jimmy on Remnant? They're just some shitheads. Huh? Don't name your kids Jimmy. They're going to grow up to be bad people. Anyway, fuck. So yes, over the past, week while I was at work, I sat down. I didn't sit down at all. I was entirely standing through almost the entirety of the book. I went ahead and picked up the audiobook. I've listened to the audiobook of all 3 of our sweet E.C. Myers' tasty, I was going to say jams, but they're not really like songs. They're the songs of the page, if you will. So that'd be poetry. But it depends on how you look at it, really. Yeah, so I have both scooped up the physical and audiobook copy of each of the E.C. Myers novels to date. I have enjoyed all of them. I say each of the ones. I don't actually have the physical copy of Roman Holiday yet because I was broke. And I still have a medical bill payment to pay off next month, so that'll be fucking fun. But it's the last one, so... Great. Anyway, God, America. Anyway. So anyway, I've really enjoyed the E.C. Myers novels to date. I really have. Both. I wanted to kind of make videos talking about both After the Fall and Before the Dawn as well. Back when those came out, I talked about it and then proceeded not to do it because I am an idiot. Also, there was no time. Also, there probably was, but I'm going to make the excuse that there wasn't. Yeah, I wanted to sit down and talk with them, and I didn't end up doing that. Maybe I'll end up trying to do that here later. Obviously, we've long since passed that, but, you know. Until Volume 9 comes out, I think I'm okay. And maybe Volume 10. It depends on really what we decide to do. Yeah, so, I have gotten all of them so far. I've really enjoyed all of them. But Before the Dawn, or After the Fall, I always forget, because before feels like it should come after. That's not how it works. After the Fall was a really fun way to kind of check in with Team Coffee, see more about them, get their backstory. Great characters, fucking love to see it. Got to see more about cool semblances, and got into some new characters. The Caspians are super fucking cool. Obviously get kind of a bit of a preview of Shade and the teachers there and stuff like that. So it was a really fun time. And obviously Before the Dawn just kind of expands on that. You get Team Sun thrown in the mix, more shit with the Crown, which I think was really cool. And yeah, it was just a fun time. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so I enjoyed the first 2 books quite a bit. I think more than some other people out there did, but in general, I really did enjoy them. I dug them quite a lot, and I really, really appreciate the work EC has done to help flesh out the RWBY universe. I always want more stuff in the RWBY universe. It's my favorite show. It starts my favorite show. Let me have it. I want more. It's like Pokemon. Pokemon's my favorite game. I always want more. Put it directly in my mouth. I just got done recording an episode of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Anyway. Rin and Hasao, you have nothing to do with this video. Anyway. What the fuck am I trying to say? I've been distracted. Anyway, I've really, really enjoyed the book so far, and I really appreciate everything that EC has done to help flesh out the books. Again, I don't know exactly the level of which, like, Eddie and Carrie and stuff, and Miles and Kiersey all have their direct inputs on the story. I don't know how the brainstorming for the stories work and stuff like that. But in general, everyone who has something to do with it, I appreciate the work they're doing, because RWBY's my favorite series, and I love seeing it be expanded upon. So yeah, I enjoyed the first 2 quite a lot. I think they're fun additions. Roman Holiday is fucking phenomenal. It is my favorite of the 3 books by a bit, and that's saying something, because again, I really did enjoy the first 2, but I fucking love this one. Obviously there's a level of recency bias. Always remember that every time I talk about something new, because it obviously that's how my brain works. Like, I knew it's great, I just watched it. In this case, listened, and then I did this for some reason. I don't know why. Someone tasered me or some shit. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. So a couple things about me, if you're unfamiliar with my like reactions to RWBY and stuff like that, or anything I've done in the past, I am a super fucking huge Neo fan. I adore Neo. I'd say probably my 3 favorite characters in the show, definitely now, if not before, are Weiss, Penny, and Neo. I really enjoy that character. And it's interesting to say that for a character that until now hasn't really had a lot to enjoy. Which is to say, it's not that there wasn't much there, it's just there wasn't a ton there in certain directions. The entirety of the time we've had with Neo has been her on screen. She doesn't talk, she's a mute. You don't have the ability to hear what she is saying. Everything she does is entirely through fucking mean looks and occasionally signs. Like The Adventures of Her and Her Dum Dum. I still haven't seen the most recent RWBY Chibi stuff, and I should do that at some point. Anyway, yeah, I really, really enjoy that character. She's an incredibly fun character, I think a very interesting one, and one that has always lent herself to have a lot to be filled out for her to make her one of the most interesting characters in the show, if they decided to go that route. She is easily the most mysterious, and like she had the room to be super interesting. And then the book came out, and that's exactly what happened. Like, goddamn. So I didn't read the little preview chapter or whatever it was. I assume it was like the first chapter, or maybe the first 2 chapters that they had put out before. I assume it was the first 2 chapters, because when I did see people talking about it, it seemed like they were already talking about the Roman stuff, so that wouldn't have happened until chapter 2. Or chapter 1, and the first part was the prologue? I don't fucking remember. Point is, that's how people talk about something like that. I didn't read those when that first came out, so, I waited until the actual book came out all the way, popped down the audiobook while I was at work, mopped some fucking floors, and, heard the wonderful tales and sadness of, Trivia Vanille. Also, I do apologize if I call her Trivia Vanille. As far as I know, that is not how that's actually pronounced, but that is how Jesse pronounced it in the audiobook. So if that does happen, that's what I do, even though vanille does make more sense. Because it's vanilla. Because it's vanilla, guys. Get it? It's vanilla. Fucking love RWBY. It's vanilla. Because Neo's a strawberry. Trivia is the chocolate. Okay, so I fucking love silly shit like that. Anyway, God, I love RWBY so much. Anyway, Point is, yeah, so I didn't read that when anyone else did, so y'all knew about the fucking trivia shit before I did. That being said, as soon as I started listening to it, and like immediately, I think the exact moment was when they're playing tag and the vase gets knocked over, or whatever the fuck it is. It's trivia and Neo playing tag or whatever, and the vase gets knocked over. I think I knew the exact moment I was like, oh, that's what's happening. This is what's going on. You're not Neo. You're Neo. Was when fucking Neapolitan dips behind the fucking, like, presents and shit and is like, I was never here, but I'm a fucking ghost. And I'm like, oh. Trivia's Neo. I don't know. It was... So I was a little late to the party with everyone else catching on, but I said it when I was talking about it on like Twitter and stuff as well. Like, I don't know what I fucking expected going in to this. Obviously, I knew that, like, hey, I wanted some Roman Neo antics, and I wanted, obviously, backstory on Neo. Neo is one of my favorite characters. She has so much room for backstory, completely unfucking touched. Like, the entirety of what we knew about Neo before the book was, hey, criminal, cute, badass, sad her boy is gone. And that's fucking it. Hates RWBY. That was it. That is the entirety of Neo's character. Also takes no one's shit. That was another thing. But you know, I came a little later on, honestly. Does not give a fuck about you or your problems. She just wants to stab a child. Anyway, or choke her out in midair. Anyway, point is, yeah, so we didn't know a lot going in, and I just knew that I wanted more of that. I knew I wanted to see what Neo was all about. I did not expect I knew Neo was going to be interesting no matter what they did. I was not expecting Neo to become one of, if not the single most interesting character in the entire show. And I'm going to kind of I'm going to use the names kind of interchangeably, even though, honestly, no, like, it's not. It's Neo. It's not Trivia. It isn't. She is long since moved past Trivia. Trivia doesn't exist. Trivia is a third or a half of who Trivia... fuck me. Of who... Please do. Neo's cute. Anyway, I apologize. Anyway, but am I wrong? Anyway, Trivia is a part of who Neo is. It's one of my like, legitimately one of my favorite lines in the entire book. It is something so completely fucking nonchalant. Like, if you didn't know the context, it means fucking nothing. But it's like Neo picked up her bags and followed him out the door, or something like that. It's when Neo and Roman really kind of decide they're gonna go do their thing together, which again sounds like nothing out of context. But in that moment, it's the first time in the book that she's not referred to as Trivia. She is referred to as Neo, and she is never, ever referred to as Trivia again. It is always Neo. People, like, call her Trivia, but she's always, like, Neo heard that and was like, fuck your shit. The book could have used... if I had one complaint, Myers, my dear friend, could have used slightly more of Neo going, the fuck is this? This is stupid. Fuck that. Just because that's what she was thinking. And Roman too, honestly. It could have just used a few fucks sprinkled in there. Other than that, it was great. But yeah, that line, like, it out of context, it means nothing. But when you realize that she's been called Trivia the entire book, but that is when the book starts referring to her as Neo, and exclusively, never ever calls her Trivia again. It is really powerful, and I find it an incredibly beautiful way of handling that writing and that character. Because again, that's the biggest thing, is like, obviously, before we went in, we didn't know what to expect, but we were hoping it was something cool and interesting. Hopefully it wasn't just, she's just some fucking girl who likes ice cream or and breaking shit. But no, like, she is an incredibly fucking compelling character. Like, immediately you get introduced to her with, like, hey, there's this girl, and she's playing with her imaginary friend Neapolitan, and she knocks over a fucking vase, and her parents freak the fuck out, and you can tell that, like, she's well off, she's wealthy, she's kind of got the Weiss thing going on. It's like, she's got all of her needs met, but does she really? Because her relationship with her parents is all fucked up, and obviously as you go through the book more and more, it becomes very fucking apparent that they're terrible fucking parents. Because I don't care how weird you think your kid is, and don't get me wrong, Trivia was a little weird. Fucking everyone in Remnant is. Y'all got fucking magic powers and shit. Like, I realize y'all are scared of the idea of semblances, and don't get me wrong, fucking Neo's semblance is terrifyingly busted. But, like, you could have avoided so much of this shit if you just acted like a decent parent to your fucking kid. But you're like, no, let's lock her in a fucking room, hide her away from everyone because they think she's a freak, mostly because she can't talk. Oh my god, she's mute. Must be a demon. Obviously, like, that's not the route they take, but the way they treat her because she can't speak, like it's her fucking choice. Like, she's doing it to spite people, or like, because she thinks it's fucking hip and with it. Like, no. She has a fucking condition. She can't fucking speak. Her voice no do the she cannot do speaky talk. Leave her the fuck alone. Like, she's got her fucking Shizune grind on. Let her have this. She's way better than Shizune too. Anyway, the point is, I just made someone mad. Anyway, like, because of that, and because of her heterochromia, like, they treat her terribly. It's so weird. And, like, it's clear that there's a level of love there. It's not like they don't completely, like, she's just burn the witch. But, I mean, Jimmy literally fucking calls her a witch by the end of the goddamn thing. Fuck him. Absolutely deserved. I shouldn't say that. I don't wish death on anyone. That being said, fuck that guy. And fuck Carmel too. I just fuck them all. I'll suck. Anyway, we'll get to that. But yeah, like, Jesus, treat your fucking kid right, and maybe they don't grow up to be a fucking criminal mastermind that tries to choke out children in the fucking sky. Like, maybe that doesn't happen if you just treat your fucking kid right, or at least if you can't, give them to someone who can. Maybe not a fucking criminal freak like Mrs. Beat, and instead be like, hey, send the kid to Signal or something like that. People who legit... That's obviously, like, when they get to that scene where, like, we'll send you someplace. That was what I was thinking. I was like, are they gonna try and send her to a combat school? Like, a place where they can help you. They can help you figure out, like, people who could help with semblances. Send Neo to, like, Signal or Beacon, or I think she was old enough to be to Beacon. She would probably have to take, like, combat courses, but, like, at that point, she already started doing, like, her acrobatics and fencing. She was already into that shit. Like, that would be a good idea. No, you sent her off to this fucking weird, creepy fucking prep school with this criminal hoe. And you thought it was weird that she that she turned out to be a bit of an angsty child. I don't know, man. God damn, the Vanilla's just fucked up on every conceivable level. And they had already long since fucked up because they got so fucking locked in with Haejong and shit. Which I'll get to them too. There's so much shit in this fucking book I like talking about. I really liked this book. Anyway. The whole point was, I was so interested to see what this book held in store for Neo's backstory, and I enjoyed it so fucking much. She's so fucking interesting. How her, like, and it's not the most completely unique thing in the entire world. It's not like it's never ever been done before. To the point of, I would like to say slightly, just a teeny bit, I love you dearly, but fuck you. Because I know you didn't know, and you don't know that I exist, but I am literally, and have been for like the past year, writing a story about a fucking kid with an imaginary friend that gets them into trouble and does horrible shit around them and constantly just saying, Neo never got fucking trivia to murder anyone. So I got that, I guess. But I'm just saying, motherfucker stealing my idea. No, seriously though. It was, as soon as I realized it was gonna, fuck. Well, that just became a little less original than it already wasn't. Anyway, I'm still gonna write it. But, point is, that was cute. Cute? Weird. Anyway, I thought it was funny. Point is, I find trivia to be an incredibly compelling character. And again, I'm trying to not use them so interchangeably because it is Neo, but I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I won't go too much more into detail about the whole damn thing, but just, I wanted her to be interesting, and she became insanely compelling. Between her difficulties with her family, which again, as has been clearly fucking discussed on my channel 100 times over, and this, I don't know when this is going to come out in relation to episode fucking 10 of goddamn Violet Evergarden, but I popped off really hard in there. We've established, I have issues with family and parent shit in media. It is one of the single strongest gravitational fucking pull themes in media. So when you bash me over the fucking skull with it affects me. So yeah, it obviously hit me fairly decently. Yeah, no, between her dealing with the stuff in her head with her imaginary friend, her imaginary friend, which again is in ways kind of a multiple personality, kind of a just other side of her that she never saw before, and that she never realized was a part of her. I always kind of describe it as fucking Neo is fucking Trivia's persona. That's what it's her fucking stand. Neo is Trivia's rebellion. Her rebellious will. You could just reread every fucking early chapter of the book where Neo is around. You could reread the fucking chapter where Trivia is getting bullied by the two shitty girls out when she sneaks out, and then Neo comes up and just fucking clocks the hoe in the head. That was really funny to me. I'm like, you got beat up by something that doesn't even exist. How's that feel, bitch? Leave my girl alone. And thank you to Heather for being kind of cool. Sorry your friends suck. Anyway, you could just play fucking the Awakening theme from Persona 5 the entire time and be like, this fits. Okay, I'm sorry. Point is, I really find that compelling. I find it really, really interesting. I find that to be really fascinating when something like that gets explored, and have that explored with a character so beloved as Neo. It's great. Again, they absolutely nailed the landing with making Neo as interesting as she should be for how much people love that character. People adore a character like Neo before this point purely because of just the cool shit they do, and they're fascinating. And I sometimes have a problem with that, because it's the same reason people liked Adam and got creepily fucking defensive of horrible shit. And Ironwood. So you gotta be careful. The power of cool is surprisingly easy to override horrible shit. So you have to be a little careful with that, because it can justify terrible garbage. And I don't mean those are bad characters. I mean they're bad people, but not bad characters. But because they're fucking cool, people drool over them. So it's a little bit of a dangerous road there, but like that is a lot of what Neo was. The difference between those things is, number one, Neo has some justification for the reason she acts the way she does. Like, totally. That was one of the other big things I wanted to know before going is like, okay, what can you do to help establish more why Neo is so pissed that Roman died? How strong was their relationship? What was their relationship? How much did it truly matter to her? Why is she so aggressive? Why is she screaming in her head, I had one thing and you taking it from me? Like, why is that playing on repeat in her head while she's trying to stab Ruby in the face? And by the end of the book, I was like, cool, I get it. 100%. I'd be pretty pissed too. Which is another thing I do want to quickly talk before I continue on to Neo, which is the main thing I'm focusing on. But I do want to quickly glance over it. Roman. I am not a huge Roman fan. I never really was. Like, I enjoyed Roman as a character. He's a lot of fun. But that's really what he amounted to. Like, people talk about how Roman was like the best villain this. You're out of your fucking mind. He was a really fun villain, and I do miss him. But that was what he was. He was a third-rate, thuggy villain who comes and fucks some shit up for Cinder, and that was it. He was the henchman to a henchman. Obviously, Cinder has grown beyond just henchman at that point, but like, you know what I'm saying. He was a henchman to a henchman. So like, I don't know. He was never super compelling. He was fun while he was there. Trying to beat a 15-year-old to death with a cane, that was a little fucked up, bud. So we're gonna have to talk about that a little, just because I'm about to give you some praise, but I do still have to acknowledge you did do that. It was a little rude. But like that was kind of where I stood on Roman for a while. He was good for what he was. He was a good character for what he was. He was fun for what he was, and that was the way he stayed for most of this book. I appreciated a lot of moments where he got to actually really kind of shine. Like, a lot of early moments when he's on his own, he really shows that he's pretty fucking competent, and he does well. He's smart. Like, there's a couple moments in particular, like when he uses the Capivara against there's a Paul Parrot. When he uses him against Parrot, and it's like, yeah, dumbass, I'm pissing you off because Grimoire attracted negative energy. I hope you know how to run. Because that thing has 2 rows of teeth. Like, it was a really kind of clever thing. I was like, that's neat. There was a lot of moments there where he actually shows he's surprisingly competent, and he's good at what he does. There's a reason he survived as long as he did. Also, super fucking cute nod. I love that all the early titles for Roman's chapters are like lie, cheat, steal, and survive. There's so many cute little nods. Like, something like, Roman was a gambling man. I'm like, I remember when he said that and then he died. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of cute little moments like that I think are really funny. There's a lot of fun moments with Roman. When Roman tries to fucking rob the bank and he runs into fucking Fred or whatever the fuck, and he's like, I'm gonna rob the bank. Oh, you can't do that. I know. It's a crime. But I'm gonna do it anyway, because I'm a criminal. Like, just their interaction was really funny to me. I like how no one took Roman seriously. Like, half the time, they're just like, who the fuck is this guy? And he usually show him up. But it's just, the fuck are you doing? You don't do this shit in Vale. What's wrong with you? At least people in Mistral knew how to get robbed. Anyway, for most of the book, that was where he stood. He was Roman as he was before, but he was a bit more competent, and he had fun moments here and there. But he very much stood as just the fun character. Until the last few chapters of the book, when fucking Neo and Roman escape from Miss Malachite and Heijong and shit, and they go head off to the manor, and they show up, and Roman immediately starts fucking roasting the shit out of the vanilla. Like, the vanillas, like, it was, number one, obviously, he's like, you're fucking rich? What the you didn't fucking tell me? What is this not? holy shit, your highness, goddamn. It's kind of like the shitty version of Sun when Blake goes to go meet her family. It's cute. But like the way he just, number one, gives zero fucking respect to the Vanillas, which they absolutely don't deserve. Like, they deserve fucking nothing. And he gives them exactly what they do deserve. Just fucking breaking shit and being like, okay, I own this place now, so I'm gonna need you to fetch me some fucking tea real quick. Like, I don't know, it made me, and how he stood up for Neo constantly, was constantly like, what the fuck are you talking, back off. Compadres, back the fuck, she's fantastic, I will end you. Also, it was super, like, that one line, he's like, you're fucking amazing. What? He's like, she's great. The fuck is that about? I'm not used to saying that about people. I don't know. Roman immediately after that went from, oh, Roman just the one kind of pain in the ass dude who was around in the first few volumes, kind of fucked some shit up, but he was third-rate villain, didn't really mean much. Immediately went from that to like, I like this character 100 times more. Standing up for my girl and telling her parents to fuck off, because that's exactly what they deserve. I really, really enjoyed it. Also, there's something really great about how he laid out both the fucking... he fucking totally Malcolm Reynolds. he totally Malcolm Reynolds Carmel, which was fantastic. Like, just talk your shit. Kapow! It's great. And then obviously, Clock Jimmy, which was great too. Also, something funny about imagining Roman dragging Jimmy up the fucking stairs or whatever to to Neo's room to try and get the fucking scanner on the thing or whatever to open the door. It was funny. So it's a funny thought, and there's a lot of moments in here that I really wish were animated. 100%. Obviously, Stark, like a Stark spin-off thing or any movie, anything like that, totally comes first as far as side material that would get animated. That being said, beyond that, Roman Holiday. Absolutely. I would take that immediately. There's so many great visual moments in this book. I love it. Especially, there's a lot that like could be ruined potentially because, I mean, it really just comes down to how you cut it visually when you're like editing and how you set up the scenes. But like, there's like multiple different points in the book where trivia gets caught in something or is getting talked to, and it takes like a paragraph before you catch on to the fact that she's already become someone else, and they think, or she thinks that they think that they're someone else. Obviously there's the scene where she's pretending to be Carmel, and Jimmy plays along until she realizes, until he fucking calls her out on it, and she realizes that her eyes, or her other eye, didn't change. But anyway, like there's a lot of really good visual moments in there. Fucking like again, I call back to it, the Neo clocking the one girl. Maybe not the punch we don't need necessarily, but more just Neo showing up and everyone seeing her and being like, "Who the fuck are you?" I don't know. There's a lot of cool visual stuff you can do because Neo is a very visual heavy character. That being said, I'm really glad we did get it in book form because it lets us have trivia and Neo's internal monologue. So it is really helpful in that sense. But like, I don't know. I really appreciated it. I was talking about Roman a second ago. This is so poorly put together. Unlike this book. But yeah, so point is, I really, really liked Roman in this, especially towards the end. Like for the most of it, I thought he was very, very much Roman as before, but a little bit more competent. And then by the end of the book, I was 100% like, I get why you're mad. I'm mad now that Roman's dead, because that was great. I liked that. I liked that he stood up for Neo when no one else would. She finally had found a friend, someone who, you know, was there for her, and I really appreciate that, and told her parents to fuck off. It was well deserved and well appreciated. Also, the little kiss on the cheek at the end was really adorable. Also, completely random, but on the topic of shipping, I did not expect to come out of this book going, I kind of, sort of, just the tiniest bit. Ship Roman Torchwick and Lisa Lavender. That was a weird combo that I wasn't expecting. It was strange, but hey, life comes at you fast. Anyway, point was, I really enjoyed Roman towards the end of the book. Back to the Queen. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect going in, but I am so fucking happy with what they did for that character. They did not, in the words of Cal, I do believe it was, because I did see that one tweet, it's just, they did not fuck it up. And they didn't. The only complaint I have about the entire thing is, I wish there was a little more. I wish maybe we'd gotten like a little bit of a cut ahead to maybe Neo just after, like maybe after she landed, or or maybe just a little bit more time in between, or like after Cinder met with Roman and stuff like that. Just something else in there, just a little more, just to fill it out, or just a cut to somewhere later on in the series where Neo is, like maybe before she goes off to Miss Malachite or something like that. This also just, Rummy, there's two questions I have, and I don't consider them plot holes or anything like that. I'm just curious why it plays out that way. I'm surprised the Malachite twins don't want to murder the shit out of Roman when he goes to hire Junior's fucking goons in the very first episode of the show, or in the yellow trailer, shall we say. I'm surprised that they didn't immediately try and jump and strangle this boy to death. Because they clearly don't get along. And I'm also surprised that Little Miss didn't seem to have too much of a problem with Neo coming in and doing business, shall we say. But maybe that was enough. Hey, time has passed. Who gives a shit? Give me money. Cinder. I don't know. But there's just things I was curious about. Again, I don't consider them legitimate plot holes or problems. But there's just interesting things I thought about once the book was over. Yeah, so anyway, I was really, really happy with what they did for Neo. Legitimately, it justified all of my feelings towards Neo being a very interesting, compelling character. And obviously, if you're watching this far in the video, you've read the book, or you don't care. If you don't, I don't care. Read the book anyway. Well, like, I legitimately think it's a damn near mandatory book if you're a Neo fan, because it adds so much to that character, and it's such a valuable addition to the series. And again, it means we're probably not going to get much in the way of anything like that in Volume 9 or anything like that. We're just going to roll on with the series. Maybe we'll get a little bit here and there, but probably more from other points. Obviously depends on where in our little wonderland we happen to be, and what all is going to take place there. But I don't know. Obviously it means that won't be much of a thing, but so it's a good idea to check it out while you can, if you are a Neo fan and you have not already. Again, weird you'd be watching this. If you haven't, you care. But yeah, I really appreciated what we did with that character. I think it was handled really, really well. She's incredibly compelling on both a mental aspect. She's incredibly intriguing. She's legitimately one of the most complex and fascinating characters we have on the show on that front. She totally fits with the run of people with terrible fucking parents in Remnant. And, always happy to add another one to the club, huh? Also, as Weiss being my favorite character in the series, there being a lot of crossover there in terrible parenthood. I don't know. Just made me like Neo a little bit more. Anyway. On the topic of her parents, we get introduced to quite a few different people in the book. Obviously, we get a lot of returning characters. Little Miss Malachite, her daughters. You get a quick appearance from Junior. But for the most part, again, Lisa Lavender, which was really cool. Ozpin's there for just a second, just to be like, hey, Roman, eat a dick. I don't say this very often, but you's a hoe. But so is Oz a little bit, but he's our hoe. Anyway. Yeah, so we obviously got a good few returning characters there. Also, Neo. I don't know if you realize that, but she was actually a returning character. Crazy, I know. But we also got introduced to a lot of new characters. Obviously, there's a lot of just random people like Huntsman and stuff like that. Just little characters throughout, Cammy, things like that. But obviously, there's a lot of the bigger ones, the kind of bigger players. With Miss Beat, who I thought was an interesting character. I thought she was fairly, I kind of see what she's going for right out the gate. And then obviously there was kind of the twist, like, oh no, well this is actually more like how the school actually works. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So am I going to like you by the time this is over, or I'm going to hate you? I can't fully tell yet. And by the end I got my answer. It came to me like an explosion. Anyway. Also, randomly before I do forget, one of my favorite one-off lines in the entire book is Roman talking to Lisa Lavender like, fucking, Miss Beat's been doing the fucking Miss Malachite with this with the pins from the school, and it's tracking everyone, these cameras, and like, oh, like, yeah, it's crazy, right? And then there's that pause from Lisa, and she's like, sorry, I had to throw something away really quick, and I'm like, that's really cute. Of course Lisa would have been a fucking person from that school. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Like, we've only seen Lisa like 3 times in the entire series, but she looks like she would have been a proper lady. I don't know. I thought it was a really cute scene. It was also, I loved the flowers. I thought that was really cute. I don't know why. I was not expecting to come out of that being like, in another time I could see it. Anyway. Yeah, so Miss B, she was an asshole in the end, but she did help Neo in quite many a way. Nailed it. I'm a writer too, Words are hard. Anyway, so I thought she was kind of interesting. Obviously, there was the Vanilles. Again, Jesse fucked me up. Anyway, I don't think it matters too much either way, but anyway, there was Jimmy and Carmel. Number 1, the name scheme. When I realized what all that was, obviously, vanilla, caramel, or caramel if you're fucking American like me. You know how to do raccoon. It's another word I pronounce like that. Caramel's one of those. Anyway, yeah, so there was that, and of course, Jimmy, which I didn't think of right away. I was like, how does that fit in? Then I remember, that is a thing. Jimmy's, sprinkles. I get it. It's all ice cream shit, because Neo's based on... I get it. Also, I did have to look up trivia to see where that was coming from. I was like, that probably means something too. And I don't know why I didn't immediately piece it together, but trivia, trio, rule of threes sort of thing, which obviously gets brought in with the pins as well. Like, it's a balance of the three parts of you. There's the like, ego, super ego, shit like that. That talks about the rule of threes a lot, which obviously fits really into Neo, because Neapolitan ice cream, and the balance between the 3 versions of her and stuff like that. So anyway, I think it's really cool how they all pieced that together and how that all fit in. I thought it was really cute. So yeah, that was kind of where the trivia. Also, I do believe it also fits into like there. I think there's also if the wiki's not lying to me, which it probably is. It can also kind of reference witchcraft, which I do think is interesting, or like a goddess of witchcraft or something like that, which I think is interesting because, again, literally gets called a witch by her dad by the end of the fucking book. Like, straight up compares her to Salem. He obviously doesn't realize that because they don't know that Salem exists, but that's what he does. Also, thought it was really cute. We got the name of the girl who fell through the world, and it's Alex. I fucking love RWBY. It's just fucking cute. It's great. It was like when we realized fucking Yang's birthday. Oh my god, I'm so mad. Such a genius, you bastards. Evil masterminds crew they are. Anyway. But yeah, that was a cute thing. I liked that Neo had a lot of references to how she used to love old fairy tales. She used to read them all the time. It was kind of one of the few things she had, is she would just bury herself in fairy tales and fiction. So she has a lot of memories of fairy tales of Remnant, which I think is really cute. Obviously, again, they directly call out The Girl Who Fell Through the World. They directly call out The Lost Fable, The Girl in the Tower. Yeah, I thought they were really cute. I thought they were really cute moments. Again, it's just those little things that tie the world together and makes it feel so much more connected and whole, and like it feels alive, and I like that. But anyway, yeah, so I looked up a little bit more about trivia, and that was a thing. So, I thought it was cool. But yeah, so there's them, and then of course there's I'd say the other really big one was Heijong, which was kind of interesting too, because I like that we got to expand on Junior a bit more, even though it was almost entirely through people around Junior. Because again, Junior shows up, I think once. I think he shows up once for a sentence in the entire, like, Neo walked up and there was this tall dude with a beard. And that was it. And then Heijong name drops him later as Junior. But anyway, I did think it was interesting. It was cool because I like Junior. I wish we had more of him. I love Jack's bad voice acting. It's great because he's such a great voice. But I always love going back and watching the Yellow trailer, and it's rough. But that's the thing, is like it's one of the things I love most about RWBY is a lot of the voice acting is rough really early on. Again, bring it back to Adam. I've talked about this so many times before. It is insane the level of difference between "What about them?" and fucking his just bullshit monologue fuck you-a-thon that is the last few episodes before he oh-knows himself. He doesn't oh-no. He just owes. He doesn't have time to get the no out. But it's like that, and Jessica Negri as Cinder as well is another phenomenal fucking example. So there's a lot of early lines which are rough as shit, and then you get to her in volume like 7 and 8, and she's just a fucking queen. A monster, but a queen. So it's just one of the things that I really appreciate. So I say that with love, Jack. I do. Also, I just love Jack. He's phenomenal. He's a wonderful lad. We love this man. Anyway, so I appreciated getting that teeny bit of Junior, and obviously by the end, spoilers. Dead. So if I'm not mistaken, I am correct in saying that almost all the major characters that weren't in the rest of the series get blown up in that fucking house at the end. As far as I know, the Vanilles, Heijong, and Miss Beat all blow the fuck up, right? Am I crazy? I know the Vanilles get it. Jimmy's definitely fucking dead. I appreciated getting to see more of the Zhang family, just because it was cool to get more of that. I appreciate little things getting expanded upon. Obviously, we got a lot on Miss Malachite. There's a character I don't particularly care for too terribly much, but I did like getting expanded upon, and I do like the interesting kind of dynamic with her daughters, and I do think the scene, or the two scenes, shall we say, with Miss Malachite showing up at the door, I think are really cute. I love Roman calling out Neo, like, well, clearly you didn't do that good of research, because this is clearly like a 5-year-old fucking picture you went off of. This is wrong, that's wrong, you're silly. And I do love that it comes out like, oh, Neo, yeah, I already told you did, and then just fucking the door gets blown down. I'm like, never mind. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to Vale. Anyway, I appreciate it. It was cute. There's a lot of cute moments, even if a lot of them involve explosions. But I appreciated getting to see that too. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure every kind of major character that does get introduced dies in that fucking house. So that's fun. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, all of them are terrible people. Like, Haejong is a shitty fucking crime lord douchebag. I do appreciate how both Roman and Neo utterly fucking school him. When you just utterly outclass him. Fucking Roman fucking embarrasses the shit out of him. Neo completely whoops his ass and ties him, like, puts him to fucking sleep on the couch. It's like, oh, she's sleeping. Oh dear. Yeah. So fuck that guy. Obviously Miss Malachite was never gonna die because she's alive later. Crazy, I know. That's how time works. And obviously the Melanie and Mulshades were not gonna die either, but yeah, so obviously I it's interesting because obviously Haejong dying obviously frees up things to go into Junior's hands, which is why he runs the fucking club later on and why Roman goes to him and shit like that. So I think that's cool there. Obviously the Vanillas aren't around because they're terrible fucking people. Yeah, like they were rough at the start, but God, did they deteriorate as time went on. Like, I was really the instant I realized what was going on with the tea at the house, I was like, fuck. That's why they put the scene in before with Trivia tricking her teacher, who, by the way, the teacher I think was a cool character as well. It's interesting. For a minute there, I totally fucking thought they were gonna drop that, like, the fucking girl that died was Gretchen. Like, 100%, like, I was like, and then they never dropped the character. I was like, oh, okay. Also, it wasn't Beacon, but okay. So, like, for a second there, I was gonna be like, no shit. Would have thought that'd be interesting. It's not impossible. Unlikely, though. Because they did say she enrolled in Beacon. Anyway. Also, again, I know this was also questioned as well, is obviously they talk about the school that is at there's Signal, and then they talk about a school on Patch. And the question I know other people have, I know Phoenix Knight will say it as well, is are those two separate schools or is Signal on Patch? Is Signal the school on Patch? And Neo just doesn't know that because she doesn't fucking go there. And she doesn't really have too much of a reason to go to a fucking combat school. Even though she had all the reason in the world to go there. And so much of this could have been avoided. But her parents suck. Anyway, I know that was a question that other people had. I would be curious to see if we ever get an answer to that. Mr. Myers, if you could assist, we would appreciate this knowledge. Anyway. or Carrie or Eddie or whatever. Anyone who is in the know. Yeah. So I'd be curious to know if we have anything about it. Or if they are just two separate schools. If Patch has its own school. If it is just called Patch. Or if Patch and Signal are the same school. Yeah. I believe also was questioned there is, I don't remember if both Ty and Crow were said to teach at Signal, or what it was. I don't know. Curious. I should rewatch RWBY for the 514th fucking time. Anyway, point is, I don't remember how I got lost on that fucking train of thought, but those were questions. Anyway, yeah. As soon as I realized what was going, her teacher, I remember, she drugged her teacher. Anyway, as soon as I realized what was going with the tea, like, okay, they drugged Neo too. Y'all can go directly to hell. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what your problems are. You two suck. I hate you. Yeah, so anyway, they drug Neo at the end, and they think they drug Roman, but Roman's not a fucking idiot. He not that Neo's an idiot. Oh my god, I love Neo. But like, obviously, Roman's been through some shit before. He's like, I'm not fucking trusting you. You're crazy. And then he proceeds to beat ass. But anyway, obviously, they very quickly jumped from, okay, you're just bad parents too. I hate you. And I don't feel bad with how this is clearly going to end poorly for you, because I can't help but notice you're not around in the rest of the series. Something tells me you probably don't have a fun ending to this. And obviously we get the eventual reveal of why Jimmy was like, you could have blown us up. And I'm like, he's totally stockpiling dust or something in the fucking house. And he was stockpiling it in her fucking room, because he's a fucking terrible, terrible dad. Could have just blown everyone up. And he was, Gotta get that money. Fuck you. And yeah, as soon as there was a lot of, as soon as I realized, oh damn. But like obviously, eventually Roman goes to get her out. Jimmy ends up waking up later on, and he's fucking freaking out. Is really interesting to see him break down, because he fucking lost it by the end. He was so utterly fucking out of it. He's like, I don't know. It was really interesting to see how utterly fucking broken Jimmy was by the end. Like, he was so, like, there was no way out. He dug way too fucking deep, and he drove his fucking family into it, and him and Carmel both fucking paid for it. Which also reminds me, it's interesting, because I also did think about this through the entire rest of, I've thought about for a while, is, as far as I can remember, we have no actual 100% ironed out, without question, confirmed death by the hands of Neo, right? Like, I was thinking about this, like, right before we suddenly got 2, 3, 4... quite a few. As soon as we immediately got that. But like right before then I was like, as far as I know, we don't have any. Like, there's obviously ones you can be like, okay, she probably killed him. Like, there's the Blue 2, Blue 3, whatever it is, the ship full of Legion soldiers that she breaks Roman off of. Obviously, she beat everyone's ass on that fucking ship. But I don't know if she killed them or if she just knocked them out. It's never confirmed or denied there. Either way, that ship does go down, so if she did knock him out, she definitely didn't give them the opportunity to be saved. So that's something. And she does try to straight up murder Yang. That gets later on when she's trying to murder RWBY. But like, even like when they attack Central Command in fucking Volume 8 in Atlas, you still don't technically ever see her kill anyone. She knocks that one dude the fuck out, but then she just knocks him out. Like, she doesn't actually kill him. Again, the city goes down. They're all fucking dead. Along with Arthur, you beautiful mustachioed bitch. And James, you flat fuck. Anyway. People named Jimmy, am I right? It's 2 of them that are flat as hell. Anyway. He's probably in bits, actually. Carmel is flat. I'm pretty sure Jimmy exploded. Anyway. But, yeah, I was thinking that, like, right before she tricks Miss Malachite and puts Roman and Neo up in the window to shoot the window, I was like, oh, well, I think I'm about to have my answer. And obviously, they gun down the window, blast it, and detonates the dust and levels the fucking goddamn mansion with everyone in it. Again, as far as I can remember, as long as I'm not mistaking anything, Heijong, Miss Beat, probably a bunch of spiders and the Zhong goons, Carmel, and obviously Jimmy. Jimmy was dead no matter what the fuck, but because like he was holding the fucking dust like a gremlin, so he was toast and locked in the fucking room. He couldn't get out. There's a lot of kind of dark moments towards the end there, especially like with Neo when she locks him in the room, is like, I don't feel, or I can't remember if it might be actually after she blows them up. But like, I don't feel anything for those people. Like they didn't feel anything for me, and I feel nothing but apathy towards them. Like, they didn't give a shit at all. Like, they just wanted me to disappear, and I gotta be honest, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad that they're dead. And they are very fucking dead. I don't know, I thought it was really interesting, especially since, again, as I was thinking about it, it's like, as far as I know, we don't have any confirmed kills. And then we got, like, 12. Again, still technically didn't do it herself. But she did, though. I was trying to see if it was my microphone arm that smells like the fucking laundry detergent. I don't know what it is. It's so weird. But I don't think it is. It's crazy. I don't know where that came from, but his name was Kermit Love. Anyway. Is that video going to come out before this? I think it's going to come out after. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But point is, as someone who I do not wish death upon anyone, though I'm a bit more liberal and carefree with it when it comes to fictional characters, I still like to hold the moral high ground of I don't think it is right to kill people. Period. Fuck them up all you want. Beat the shit out of them. Lock them in a cell for the rest of their lives. But I don't think you should kill them. That being said, the entire ending aside from the part where Neo gets drugged and dragged into a bed and left to sit there and think like is this what feeling dead feels like? This is horrible. Aside from that part, the entire ending of this book is so fucking cathartic. Like, it feels so good. And it shouldn't. I shouldn't be happy that they blew up. I shouldn't feel happy that Roman decked the ever-loving fuck out of fucking Neo's mom. But god am I. Like, it felt really good. Again, Roman talking the master shit. It wrapped up very good. Miss Malachite runs away. Fucking, they're all dead as shit. And Neo and Roman they literally get to ride off into the sunset together. And it's really cute. Again, there's a really cute cheek kiss, which is adorable. I still don't know if we fully understand how Neo feels about Roman in that sense. In that sense, you know what I mean? But I think that might have a little bit of... I think that kind of pushes it in the direction of... I think there was something there. Whether or not Roman necessarily had that, though Roman very clearly did have opinions about Neo, and was a fanboy, if you will. Welcome to the fucking club, sir. But I don't know. It just... I thought it was a really sweet thing. And I was not expecting to come out of the book enjoying Roman more than I did. And I enjoyed him a lot more because of those last bits. I knew I was going to like Neo more going into the book. I had no idea how much more I was going to enjoy her because I already really, really enjoyed that character. But I did not realize I was going to utterly fucking adore that character by the end of it. Still ain't putting her over Neo or Penny, or fucking Weiss or Penny. Not putting Neo over Neo. Weird. I would put Neo over Neo, but like Neo, like Matrix Neo, totally blows me out of the water. Keanu, I love you. I'm sorry, you're breathtaking, but she will literally take your breath away with a stab. Anyway. Yeah, I loved the fucking book. It was an incredibly enjoyable experience. Again, insane if you're watching this video and you didn't read it. Weird, but if you haven't, read the fucking book. It is totally worth it. It is by far the most, as far as I'm concerned, mandatory reads of the 3 novels, and all of them are good. You should read all of them. If you're a RWBY fan. If you're a Neo fan in particular, out of the question. Read the book. If you don't, use a bitch. I don't know what you want from me. Read a fucking book. It is about the ice cream queen. The waifu supreme. Anyway, I loved it. I really appreciated it. Again, I absolutely adore E.C. Myers and the work he has done to help flesh out and fill out the universe of RWBY. Again, it is my favorite series of all time. So every chance and opportunity we get to have more fun, cool stuff in it makes me really happy. And I have been nothing but impressed and enjoyed and had a great time with what he has helped bring to the series. Legitimately one of the best inclusions to the group as a whole has been E.C. Myers. I absolutely cannot thank him enough for his work. If by ever chance you do haven't checked this out, number one, how the fuck did you watch this? Insane. Obviously there's nothing to watch really, but how did you listen to it at least? Bizarre. But thank you. You are fantastic and we love you, and I absolutely goddamn cannot wait to see what else we get from you with the rest of the series. Again, I feel like we're definitely not getting Stark or anything like that. I feel like that's something they have to do animated, whether that be during the series, whether that be afterwards, whatever the case may be. I feel like that's just got to be something that's got to be handled in there. Again, obviously people have floated the idea. One that I'm really, really interested in. I would totally be down for like a Happy Huntress's Robin Hill, Aesop's Clover-ebby shit, I would totally be down. I think that would be really, really cool. The Atlas arc has been my favorite arc of the series, I think, and I always love more opportunities to dive in there and see cool stuff. I don't suspect we'll get anything more Vacuo related because we're in Vacuo now, or at least we will be by volume 10. I don't know. It really depends on how volume 9 is handled. But we've touched down. We've seen Vacuo. I cannot express to you my giddiness and excitement when we saw Ravagers. I'm like, holy fuck, those were in the book. I knew about it before you did. I'm a real fan. Fucking stupid. I just love shit like that, though. I love getting tied together and stuff. Like, I highly doubt we'll ever hear anything about the Crown. As much as I would love to see Jax and Jill. Jill, I'm pretty sure Jax ain't doing shit. But as much as I love to see that, or like the Caspians or something like that, I feel like we're not going to get that. But it would be cool to have a nod here or there. Obviously, I don't know what we will get coming out of the fallout of Roman Holiday, but if anything at all. But regardless, it has given me a newfound love for a character I already absolutely adored, and a newfound love for a character I thought was fine, but I really, really like now. Because again, boy earned all the fucking I'm freaking my words. Boy earned all of the points talking shit to the Vanillas. I really liked all the new characters, even the ones I hated. I enjoyed them. I loved the expansions upon old characters. I really liked getting to see more of the Malachites. They were a lot of fun. Again, Little Miss is a character I don't really give too much of a shit about, but I liked the work she put in. There's a good scene or two that's fairly intimidating. I like it. Heijong was fun. He's a total loser, but he was fun. Miss Beat was an interesting character. I loved everything with trivia in Neo. I didn't even talk about the scene, which is, I really liked. I hated it, but I really liked the scene where Neo dies, if you will, when fucking Trivia does her little float out the window. After she fucking sets her room on with a flame, she just lights her fucking room up and go, oh, that's bad. Why did I do that? This was a mistake. Yes, it was. But she learned how to fly. So that was cool. But anyway, obviously she touches down and then the Vanillas show up again and like, what the fuck? And then it's the first time you see Carmel lose her shit and she just fucking punts Neo out of existence. And then you never see Neo again. Or you never get to see that version of Neo again for the rest of the show. Or the rest of the book, and until Neo kind of takes on her form, like her, as far as she's concerned, in that moment, Neo, the imaginary friend, fucking died. Like it's really a fucked up moment. It was a fucked up moment. I appreciated it, but also mean because it hurt Trivia. I hate hurting Trivia. I hate hurting Neo. It's going to be really hard to never mention Trivia's name in the show proper. But I should, because Neo is Neo. We've established that. Just like as the book put it, Neo picked up her things and followed Roman, or whatever the fuck the line actually is. Anyway, I'm gonna finally stop talking. I wasn't sure whether or not I was actually going to be able to put together a coherent thought about the book, and it's very debatable whether or not I actually did. Let's talk Mitsuha. Lovely. I should watch that again for the 500th time. Favorite show? Not Vegas. Favorite show? Favorite movie? Anyway. Until they make a RWBY movie. Fucking Stark prequel. Let's do it. Anyway. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Absolute 10 out of 10 for me. That was my favorite of the books, and I loved all the books already. So, E.C. Myers, thank you so much for putting in the work. To Eddie and Kiersey and fucking Carrie and Miles and whoever else helped brainstorm it, however much they did. Again, I don't know how the process works. I don't know if it's just like, hey guys, I wanted to do this. Is this cool? And they're like, it's fucking rad, and then dip. Like, I don't know if it's that, or if you you sat down with them and try like, what is this? And we're like, well, this and this and this, and we had ideas for this, and okay, well, I can do that. I don't know how the process works for y'all, but whatever it was, huge thank you for that, because again, as a huge Neo fan, you did that character so right, and I'm so excited that she's going to be prevalent in Volume 9, and hopefully much longer than that. Still totally on Team Neo Redemption arc. Even more after this book. I gotta be honest with you. Just please, someone sit her the fuck down and just be like, listen. It's more complicated than you think. So we can be best friends, because that's what Neo really deserves. We took her best friend away. She should have some more friends. Come on now. Again, especially since fucking Neo and Weiss have like the same backstory. Please, let them be friends. I didn't even think I wanted that. But now that I know that it's the thing, put the best girls together. Because I don't have the other best girl anymore. Because Cinder's a hoe. Anyway, point is, I loved it. I can't say that enough. Thank you so much for everyone who sat through whatever the fuck this was. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a little love. I have a Discord. You can come and talk to me about RWBY and all other things I would like to fucking talk about, which is everything. VTuber. Pokemon. How beautiful I am. Neo's behind. I don't talk about it all the time, but sometimes it's a good time to talk about Neo's behind. Anyway, stuff like that. I have a Patreon for if you guys would like to check that out. You can get stuff a little early. Toss in a buck. Have stuff early. There's no set time for earliness, so it's just whatever I have up. So it could be one day, or it could be 5,000 years. Anyway. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for sitting through it if you did, and if you didn't, well, you're not hearing this, so fuck you. Anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you again to EC for putting the book out. I can't wait to see what we do next, whether that be something we're completely expecting, like maybe a Happy Huntresses, or something we have no fucking clue what it is. Like some pizza guy who goes on a crazy adventure and encounters many different grims. And he gets eaten by the end of the book. Anyway, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But whatever it is, I'm sure it will be a goddamn delight, because I always want more RWBY in my life. So thank you for giving that to me. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go. Take care, stay safe, stay beautiful, stay wonderful. I love you all dearly. Toodles, doodles, and Neapolitan ice cream. You thought I was going to say lemons, but I wasn't, because that doesn't fit in this current situation. So, Neapolitan ice cream, strawberries for Neo, and I get trivia's the chocolate, and the vanilla's vanilla. That's why when they blow up at the end, she gets the little streak of white in her hair. For vanilla. Okay, that was another thing. There wasn't a ton of characters that I went like, oh, this feels like a character based on something from other stories. Obviously, as I feel like Heijong is clearly, he's Papa Bear, because Junior's Baby Bear. Duh. Like, for the most part, we didn't really have much of that. Much more that was already, like, there. So, I thought that was interesting. But again, I liked some of the things that we did get. Like, I did like the allusions to stuff we still did have. Some of the names of characters were fun. Like, Rock Salt and fucking Candy Floss. That was just fucking cute. I don't know from RWBY's fucking adorable. Except for all of the murder. Anyway. Aside from that, it's an adorable series. Anyway. Toodles, lemons, everyone. Bye. I will see you all next time, whatever that happens to be. Hopefully, it will not be too terribly long before I can talk to you about RWBY Goodness again, whether that be the soundtrack or our sadly delayed, but shall be totally worth it, Volume 9. Until then, everyone. Toodles, and lemons. Toodles and something. Bye. I love y'all dearly. But not as much as I love Neo. Roasted. Got him. Shouldn't roast ice cream. That's weird.